Alright. You're gonna land today. Alright guys, how are you all doing? I hope you are having a fantastic day so far. If you're a new subscriber, I want to say thank you and welcome to my channel. This is StellaZone, where it all goes down. So today I want you to guess what I'm going to be making by looking at the ingredients. Yeah, you're like, what in the world? Alright guys, so today I'm going to be making something that we call in Ghana Angwamu, which can literally translate into English as oil rice. Alright, or rice rice cooked with oil. Oil rice is normally eaten with salsa on the side and fried egg or sardine, or sometimes some people will do fried eggs plus sardine. So I just decided to add a little twist to my oil rice, and it's a food that can be eaten for lunch, dinner, even for breakfast, because you know in Ghana, I mean, we can do whatever we want. We can eat it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, even midnight when you're hungry. So let me show you. I'm adding a little bit of twist to it, okay? So to make my oil rice, I'm going to walk you through the ingredient that you need. Normally, like I said, Ghana oil rice is going to basically consist of rice, onion, and the oil and salt, okay? Salt to make it tasty, or salt to taste. But for me, I'm adding a little twist to it. So I have my rice. I have 3 cups of rice. I have crab, imitation crab, which I have here. Crab classic imitation crab. And I only use half of the bag, like half of the content that was in the bag. So I still have half left. So I just took half of it, sort of diced it, or flake it with your fingers, whichever you want to do. I have a little over 1 cup of onions, medium-sized onion, all sliced up. I have 3 stalks of green onion, okay? I have 1/3 cup of oil, and I'm using safflower oil. Safflower oil, that's what I'm using. And I have this is the secret ingredient here. I have 1 tablespoon of batter, okay? Don't use margarine. Margarine is not good. So I'm using batter, okay? So, because this is what is going to make it taste. So to start, I have my pot here. I'm going to go ahead and add my oil first of all to begin with. I'm going to go ahead and add the onions in here. So for this recipe, I'm not going to allow the onions to brown, you know. I want to cook the onion till it softens up, because you don't want like a burnt like onion or too brown, but you just want to soften it up. And I love onions, so I use lots and lots of onions. And if you're an onion lover, this recipe, use as much as you can, okay? And this looks really good already. Alright guys, so next is I'm going to add the crab, imitation crab. I was going to say crab ragu. Imitation. Okay, so if you don't have, if you can't find the imitation crab where you are, you can use shrimp, okay? So it doesn't have to be cooked shrimp, okay? Just get yourself uncooked shrimp, take the shells off, clean it, and then cut it up, okay? Cut it up, sort of like dice it into little bits, pieces, little chunks, okay? Just cut it up, dice the shrimp up, and then you can use it instead of the imitation crab if you don't have imitation crab where you are. Alright, so I have cooked the crab in the onion and the oil for 3 minutes. So after 3 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and add the butter. And the reason why I add the butter at this stage is because you don't want to add the butter too early, because the butter can get burned easily, and that can give your dish like a burnt taste, and you don't want that. So I have the heat on low now. Since I have the butter in here, I have the heat on low. I'm going to add my rice, and my rice is washed, okay? It's washed and clean. Alright, so now I'm just mixing everything. I'm mixing the rice and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add salt. I don't say the amount of salt I use because I want to leave it to your discretion, okay? So as you can see, I'm not adding any water yet, okay? I'm going to cover this, bring the heat down. So it's sort of like you want to fry the rice first of all before you cook it, okay? So normally I just leave it and let it sit like this for for 10 minutes, but then I'll stir it halfway, 5 minutes to it, and then after 10 minutes, that is when I add water. And so I'm gonna cover this. Remember, bring the heat down very low, because since there's no water, it will burn easily. With the oil and the butter, it will burn. Alright guys, so my 10 minutes is over. So what I'm doing is I'm stirring the rice, okay? And then I'm going to add in my water now. This is when I introduce the water. This is 2 cups of water. And that's all the water that I'm adding for now, okay? I'm not gonna add any more, because you don't want to go ahead and add a lot of water, and then when your rice is soggy, you're like stuck. You don't have anything else to do. So start with small amounts of water. Start with little quantities of water until you get your desired. You can always add, if your rice is a little too hard for your taste, you can always add water to soften it up. But can you imagine adding more water to begin with to cook your rice, and then your rice becomes too watery? Like, you don't have any option. So add little bits of water at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this, okay, and let it sit and cook nicely. But what I will do is I'm going to spread like a parchment paper on top, okay? So after adding the water, I'm going to add the green onions, and I'm doing this for the flavor. I'm adding the green onions for the flavor. It's optional. So I'm going to cover this with parchment paper. Let me cover it with plastic, which I don't think is like healthy. It's a great idea when it comes to health. So parchment paper is good. It will not burn. And I'm covering this with parchment paper so that the rice will retain, the dish will retain the heat, and will allow it will retain the heat, like the moisture. Okay, that's what I want. So it will cook the rice nicely. So cover this. I have the heat. I'm bringing the heat to a 4 now, and I'm going to cook it basically until the rice softens up. That's how long I'm going to cook it. It could cook for 15-20 minutes. Yeah, from 15 to 20 minutes, but until the rice is softened up to the texture that you want. All right, so I'm stirring. It's looking nicely done, and it's been cooking for 15 minutes. And I'm not going to add any extra water. I think the 2 cups of water is fine. If you want your rice softer, by all means, sprinkle a little bit of water on here, but mine is cooking perfectly. So back again, cover to retain moisture, and that will help cook the rice. At this point, I have the heat on too. So the rice is cooking nicely. It's almost done. So I'm going to go ahead and make my salsa, or the pepper sauce for the rice, okay? And how it's normally eaten with. This is what is normally eaten with the oil rice. So I have my onions. I have like a quarter-sized onion. I have one habanero pepper, a small one. If you don't want it too spicy, you can get small habanero and cut it in half. I have tomatoes here that I'm using since it's spicy. I have one, and almost like a quarter size. And this was in the freezer, that's why it looks. And then blend this. I'm going to cover this and then blend this. So this is the consistency that I want. It's a little bit chunky. And I'm going to add salt to taste, and then we are going to work on our eggs, okay? So to make my eggs, as you guys can see, I have salt in the bottom of this bowl right here. I have a few slices of thin sliced onion here. So, and I'm using regular whole egg and then egg white, okay? So crack the egg open. I'm going to beat this up. Beat the egg, beat the egg, beat the egg. And then I'm going to shake this and add some egg white as well. There we go. Sometimes what I like to do is I will take just a little bit of the salsa, right? And then that's me, okay? You don't have to do it. And then I'll mix it in here. And then I'm going to add my eggs. Guys, so that my rice is done. Look at this. This looks so good. Looks so yummy. And I only used the 2 cups of water. I did not add any more water to it. But like I said, if you want it softer, just sprinkle a little bit of water on your rice. So, time to scoop. Alright, so this is our imitation crab rice served with egg. If you have sardine, please by all means do the honors by adding the sardine, because normally it's eaten with eggs or with sardine or both. Normally I've seen we Ghanaians, we like it to have it with both sardine and eggs, okay? So this is it. Please give this recipe a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. Like, share, spread the word, okay? Spread it. Until we meet right here on StellaZone. Keep the comments coming. Have a blessed day.